The granddad and the patriarch of the Taylor family, is pretty much highly respected and regarded everywhere we went. It was always love. And then they got to know us. And then me and Chip, not just with the music, but, more so Chip with the sports. He became the Deion Sanders of Troy because he played basketball and football. As you know, like I said, basketball is the only sport I don't play, but we play everything else. Think about it. We're Sam's two oldest grandkids. You know what I mean? The proud moment to be able to say, our last name is Taylor. The pride that we carry. Again, when you see those pictures of me celebrating, it's because I'm still here. I'm healthy. I'm kicking ass. And I just know that my elders are watching me and they're proud of me because before all of them left, they let me know that. Like I said, even though sometimes I have moments, now and then a song will come on, it makes me think of when we used to perform that song, and I'll shed a tear. I'll cry sometimes. I'll have a minute. It's hard, because it's like I wish all of them were here. Gramps always say, if I ever leave this earth, there's one guy I know in this family is going to continue this thing even more so. He said, my grandson. So that hit him with pride. He said, you think he's something, you gotta hear his mama. And and mama's doing it too. And so is Aunt Karen. Aunt Karen, keeping her brother's legacy alive, but just on the strength of we've always done music. And Karen's the jazzy aunt, as you know. She does jazz gospel and and that's where I used to spend a lot of my time cultivating what as Planet 12, because her son, which is my first cousin, Jator, me and Jator, still to this day, thick as thieves. So if it was a Jackson 5 setup, he would be Marlon and I would be Michael. That's pretty much how we ran. And then BB would sit with us because Tori later became my DJ. We started getting deep into rap, so we literally were following in the direct footsteps of Jacque Taylor with the hip.
Named Jacques. So my mother named him Jackie after Jackie Robinson, Fitzgerald after President John Fitzgerald, right? Coral. So when he gets school age and he's going to school, he's in class, he's Jackie, Jack, two other girls with the same name, and it was messing with him. So I said to my mother, change his name to Jacques. Benny and Sam were partners and they did a lot of music together. We're friends a lot of years. Sam actually introduced him to my mom. I don't know how happy he was about that, but he did. And thus we have
Jacques. We called him BB for baby brother. And he started off as a rap artist in the Bronx when the rap started.
How was growing up with Jacque Taylor?
It was awesome, My mother had to work, so he had to watch me. And that meant I had to not tell because I didn't want to stay in the house. So he would take me with him to play pool. And believe it or not, he's running around with his friends in New York. What they used to do was jump on the back of the buses and ride them. That's what they did for fun. So I had to jump on his back, and he said, hold on tight. I held on tight, and I was riding them buses with my brother. Yeah, it was pretty awesome growing up with my brother. He was 6 years older than me. I was the baby, and we were just very close up until, when he passed on.
78, I was an original rapper, by the way, in New York City. I was pretty popular in New York. They used to call me MC Showbiz. And Bootsy and them guys, Bootsy Collins and George Clinton and them, Flashlight, and they influenced they influenced more than a lot of people know. They influenced the whole rap culture.
First, this segment's dedicated to a quench your thirst. A rhyme well versed to a beat well laid. Blast like the burst of Gatorade.
Grew up in the Bronx with Kumo D and them. Okay. You ever listen to Wild Wild West?
Yeah.
Wild Wild West. The last verse, and he'd be like, Jacque from around the way. Talk about your boy Jacque is the reason we started rapping.
And as a young teenager, and get in a little trouble, everybody gets shipped to Arizona. Sam Taylor, Bobby Casino Chip.
We was in New York, and this is when Amateur Night at the Apollo was at its biggest peak. Right before they went national on TV, my dad used to win first place. But this particular show, you know, all the family was there, and I think special guest stars was like Keith Sweat. Man, you talking about women going crazy. Like, Keith didn't even want to go up because the main event came after the Amateur Night. But my dad used to sing that Ooh Baby Baby by Smokey Robinson. He won that first place prize for $5,000. He actually won 8 times in a row at the Apollo Theater in New York, which is probably the hardest place in the world to perform at. They hold no punches, you know. They're going to boo you whether you're a celebrity or not. If your shit ain't right, your ass is getting booed off the stage.
We were very close, and we shared the stage. And you know how crazy he was, Bobby. Yeah. Woo! They used to get in trouble.
Bobby Taylor and the Real Deal.
He started the Real Deal in '89. He met Karen, was the truth. There was no female singer in Tucson during that span that was coming even nowhere close to KB. And I'm telling you, because I was 15, I was the roadie, setting up the equipment in the club, sitting in the corner. I wasn't even old enough to be in the club. And I would watch, man, people go crazy. I mean, the combination was sweet, man. Like I said, between my dad lead singing and her being lead singing, and then you had Jacques backing them up, you know. They would call me on stage, get my little 15 minutes of fame. Yeah, spit my little bars. Now it was a movement, you know. At that point, because you had my grandfather, then you had my dad doing his thing, and at that point in time, they pretty much ran Tucson nightlife as far as the live bands and stuff.
Bobby and all those guys, they went to this place called the Durango Cattle Company, and we were laughing about it because at that time they'd have nothing but country western. They never had black bar before or since in that place. But when they got in there, after the first week, the place was jam packed, and Jacques used to come over there, and he would come over and laugh and say, "This place is hilarious." It was on Roger Road, yeah, and they never, it's now the Outlaw. That's pretty, they're like, people were like first walking in, what the hell's going on here? And within a week, they had converted everybody, so they had a big night there. I think they were there at least a year. The power of music, you never know.
Bobby and Jacques and Karen Brooks. Karen was like a Whitney Houston of Tucson. I'm telling you, she was the shit. And she was singing with Bobby when Anna War walked in the room for the first time. And Anna was just kind of just popping in on the scene. She was only like fucking 18.
The reason a lot of people respect him, because he could have rode my grandfather's coattail out here and did really well. But I used to sit in the crib and sit there and watch him call all the bars in Tucson. Turkeys, To Kill a Mockingbird, Somerset. He would never mention Sam's name. He always wanted to get it off his own merit. And he rebuilt a very good father, man. My grandfather was highly impressed. Shit, at one point, other than my grandfather, my dad might have been the next thing between him and the Prophet as far as the biggest draws out here.
Jacque Taylor carried it on after Bobby passed away. I think that was a natural handoff for
Jacque Taylor of Jacque Taylor and the Real Deal Band.
They were part of the original Real Deal.
Try to find a warm place to spend the night. Heavy rain falls.
My name is Don Nottingham. from the great state of Connecticut, here in Tucson for many years, trying to hold it down. I became a front man because basically I had to. After Bobby passed, we had to keep it going. And so I was blessed enough to have the voice to be a front man. And a lot of people think I've been a front man for 100 years, but it's been like 30 years, that I became a front man. I was in the background. I've done studio work for everybody. I'm a studio rat. From Cameo to the Isley Brothers to OG Jacque.
How was the transition from Bobby to Jacques?
After Bobby's passing, there was a time in there that was just kind of empty. I don't know what Jacques was doing during that time because they were very close. Being a friend of Jacques, I know he took him a couple of years to kind of rebalance himself and get up the gumption to go out on his own because, he was working with Bobby and he really wasn't out on his own before. Sam was in charge. All three of them had done things together.
So where you from?
New York.
Okay, so what brings you to Tucson?
I came out here to do music with my cousin Bobby Taylor and my uncle Sam Taylor. Bobby Taylor and The Real Deal, they both passed away now, and I am still trying to carry on the tradition in true Taylor fashion. And
Jacque Taylor, he spent too much time on the street.
After a while, it becomes your comfort zone. When you get out, you don't have, you burnt bridges. It's hard to go back home or around your family, around people, so your comfort zone is staying high.
But he did clean up his act at the end, and so he went out on a high note, which is good.
People may go to prison and learn new tricks, learn how to become black-hearted and stuff like
Jacque kept me on my toes because Jacque is a con artist. See, Jacque will try to, if Jacque can con you, right there in your face, con you, he gonna at least try, Even after we both came out of that world. It was a funny thing about it, because I would go get Jacque and his band to come do an event or something, and then trying to pay him, because he always tried to come, no, you told me, he come with something else. And he laughed when he do that. I said, yeah. So anyway, that's what I liked about Jacque, and I'm glad I met him like I met him. I wouldn't change that, because that's where we became friends, out there in that world. And we remain encourage each other to keep on our music tip, and we did. Sometimes he would just ask me, how you just stop, and I miss him, I miss the Jacque out there doing his thing, in the clubs doing his thing. Because I know as a musician, entertainer, that's where he's at his best and most happiest. So yeah, Jacque was cool, brother. Yeah, he was cool. I give him that. Ain't too many cool folks around. Ain't too many folks got that cool.
So how long have you been playing with Jacque Taylor?
First met him in 2014. It was around Halloween, and I took a fill-in gig with Les Baxter. He was doing a Halloween thing, and Jacque was the singer. At one point, Jacque got there with like 5 minutes left to go before the show started, and so he hadn't really met me yet, And I'm sitting there playing behind him, and at one point he turned around and he looked at me. He's like, "Who the hell are you?" And kept playing, right? So he marches up to me on the break, hands me his phone, and he said, "I need you to put your name and number in there because you're qualified." And then he turns around and walks off, and I'm standing there holding his phone, cracked screen like a teenager, And I'm like, "All right, dude," and I put my name and number in there, and I walked and managed to find him again and gave it back. And he says, "Cool." And then he introduced himself, and, I told him who I was. And he said, "Well, it's good to meet you, Bill Greenberg, and I will call you because you're qualified." And then he turned around and wandered off to talk to somebody else. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what any of that means, but
What impact in music do you feel that Jacque Taylor has brought to Tucson?
Say yeah.
I feel the impact that Jacques Taylor made on the music scene here in Tucson was a really, really big one because of his energy that he brought to Tucson. He brought people together, and I think that there's a hole because he's not here anymore. There's a certain something that Jacques brought to Tucson. He was a great entertainer.
Lay down your booty and play that funky music. I hope he will. Oh, if you still have me.
But he did have a really, really big impact on my life. He taught me confidence on stage. He taught me stage presence. He taught me how to improvise, and he taught me how to make the stage my own. You know, so I'm really grateful to him for that. And he may not have grown to be like some big superstar that the world has known, but the people that he did touch, he touched them very sincerely, and I'm just grateful that he was able to be a part of my life, even though it was just for a short while.
Yeah, today we'll break up and tell them that our minds are made up, but tomorrow things might change. Sam Taylor, Benny Earl, right?
From Pittsburgh, PA.
If you ever went to a show from Jacques Taylor, he was going to put the mic in your face and have you sing and participate. He was just always like engaging his audience.
Come on, you ready to sing that song? Say hometown, say it's your girl starts acting up.
Unforgettable personality, super fun, super funky. Performing at Juneteenth, I believe it was in 2014 at the Donna Ligon Center, and just jamming out with him. He was just a very fun guy. You felt like you knew him, you know? You felt like you went back with him, like he was family. Like anytime you saw him, it was always love. So it was a joy running into him and taking photos with him and putting up that what is it, the finger gesture that he does. Shout out to everyone who's had an opportunity to work with him side by side. I'm sad that, you know, he's gone from this realm, but once again, another brother in music, and that music lives on, and that legacy lives on. So thank you, Jacques Taylor, for your contribution. I hope you're jamming up there in the skies. I really do. Thank you so much, and it's been a pleasure to cross paths.
My Uncle Sam Taylor, the blues man. I'm very proud of that fact. He wrote the song, but I'm sure most of you heard but did not know he wrote it. You want to hear it? Listen, let's go. Go on, do it. Do it, satisfied.
That's because it's all for you. When you get it, it comes back to me. And when I feel it, I usually get it from these guys. I get this chill or this feeling because they feeling it, then I'm feeling it, and then the crowd is feeling it. So we do it for the
First time to see Jacques Taylor, and I was impressed by his performance, the way he was on stage, the energy, the strength. I was really impressed, and I said, yes, this is an artist. I thought myself, this guy is a really artist. He has everything that an artist needs to have. And it was a good experience for me. I can say he was one of the guys that gave me hope, telling me that Tucson is a good place for me. I can stay here and do my music, because I didn't know if me coming here from Ivory Coast, if people will like my music. There was a lot of worry about that. But, playing with Jacques Taylor, sharing the stage with him made me understand that I can do my own band, I can do my music, and I will have some fun. And that is what I did. And it was a good experience with him, I can say.
Blaze your fire, then I satisfy all desire. Say I still every minute. All you got to do, you wanna do with me? Come on, sing to me. Steal it up, chill it out. Little darling, steal it up. Come on, baby. Come on.
Jacques was definitely about chaos. It was. I never knew what was going to happen. From one night to the next, from one show to the next. One of the geniuses of Jacques Taylor was he could work a crowd like nobody else I've ever seen, and he would get people involved. He drew people in and made them part of the band. Like you weren't just coming to see the band. You were coming to be part of the band, and there were people that would come from show to show to show, and sometimes musically those shows would be really uneven for a variety of reasons, but people would come anyway because
Jacque, he had so many people. He gave a chance to come up and sing and play. And when you went to one of the things, it was just like he'd go out and sing in the crowd, or you might go to the bar and sing at the bar, and then come back. He made sure that everybody in the place was good.
And I'm from Tucson, Arizona. I was in Neon Prophet for about 7 years, and it was during that time where I met Jacques Taylor. He'd come and sit in, and so we kind of hit it off as friends, and he asked me to come play with him. I think it was around 2013. Jacques Taylor was a positive energy person, you know what I mean? He was really fun to be around, and he was definitely the life of the party. You wanted to get some entertainment going, and you booked his band. He brought it 110%. It was a hard-working band, and I'm gonna miss him forever, He's definitely been a big loss in my life.
To Karen Taylor singing around the house all day with a brush for a microphone.
Of Jacques Taylor.
My best memory is when he started doing these fundraising things, and he did something called Facebook Friends. So he got a hold of Facebook, and he started blowing up on Facebook and everything. And he said, I'm going to do a fundraiser and a get together with Facebook Friends. So I laughed to myself and I said, okay, well, I'm his Facebook friend. So I secretly booked a flight, and my daughter, my middle child, came with me. He had this big venue and all these sponsors and all these different acts coming on one after the other, whatever. And so I had, got with one of his bandmates and said, okay, I'm coming into town secretly, and when it's his turn to take the stage, I start singing, and he's looking from down. He's off the stage and he's looking, and he can't even, it's been some years, and he's like, who's on the stage singing this song with my mic and my shirt? Because I even had the, the real deal shirt on. It was the most surreal thing, and it was a joy and a pleasure for me to do it because I knew that I knew it was just going to hit him. I knew it was going to be something that forever, amen, it was going to be like one of the best things that ever happened, you know? And I was glad that I was going to be the one to give him his best thing. So it was pretty special. It was incredibly special. And to share the stage with him. So he actually got to share a stage with me, and we sang a couple of songs, and we went from there the next day at some other club, and I sang with him there too. So that's an incredible memory for me that I'll always hold dearly.
What was one of the best memories you have of Jacque Taylor?
My best memory I had of my brother, not too long before he passed, he was telling me about how happy he was in his life and how he wished he would have walked into being the man that he was supposed to be, that God intended for him to be, the father, the brother. And he said, Matt, look, he showed me the video. He said, I got my own car. It's not in no one else's name. The insurance ain't in nobody else's name. It's in my name. I pay my insurance every month. I pay my rent every month, my cell phone bill. You know, I take care of my children to the best of my ability. And different things, if they ask, I'm there. Even me, I call, he send me something. He said, it just feels so good to live like this. God, I wish I would have changed my life and experienced this so long ago. I said, it's all right though, baby. You know, I'm happy for you now. Some people never come to that realization. And that just made me very proud. And that was one of the best memories that I had.
Arizona. Super sunny Arizona. I was walking around this little neighborhood right here, and I looked up and I saw this. I said, check this what I saw, y'all. You ain't gonna believe this. It's like, I was like, dang, that's cool. I was like, hey, where y'all get that from? I got to get one of those, you know what I'm saying? That's fly, look at that. Boom. Then I realized, oh, that's me. Ain't that something? Somebody had one, they knew I was coming. Y'all ready? Got a story to tell.
Pablo lit fire in the street. When the light turned green, he drank gasoline, and his brother looked on. Ringmaster of the show. Ringmaster of the show. Ringmaster of the show. In old Mexico.
And so you know, as I flow, I miss the show. Don't want y'all to miss the show. From New York City to Mexico. Go, go.
A little girl was sitting in front of Maria's house for chicken, but she was only picking for some.
What was the last conversation you had?
He sent me some rhymes. He did some real positive rhymes about persevering, and I feel like he's the kid on the carousel that gets the brass ring, and you know, all of them would be silver, and the person that got the brass ring was the winner. And Jacque always wanted the brass ring. You know, he always wanted to excel. It was more than ambition. You know, I wouldn't just call it ambition. It was just him. That was just him.
Ringmaster of the show. Ringmaster of the show. Ringmaster of the show.
Jacque's unbridled enthusiasm, you know. I knew he wasn't well physically, but he had this just enthusiasm that he wanted legacy. He wanted something to leave people. I mean, he had given people a lot, but he still wanted to leave more.
Show.
I go dip, dance, so social answers like a hypnotist. I'ma just put you in a trance. Rhyming, more skill in advance than the dojo. Working his mojo in a kung fu stance. I enhance more romance than the fitness. From dope, but taking out the confidence. Expanding pants, causing avalanche. So don't even try to compete. You must be high as a handicapped toilet seat. I don't creep, I don't peek, and I don't sneak. I hide the mic and like master feet. Whole clicks at a time. If ya give me the microphone, better I bust a funky rhyme. So don't you dare start to stop it. Don't trip, it's just a hip hop. To the non-stop. Now let the beat drop. Ringmasters of the show. 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 In old Mexico.
About the spirit of music from Sam. It's like the way he reached out and touched people and what he got from music. It's like a place. It's a place. When you're there, there's moments on the stage when you just close your eyes, you open your eyes, and you remember where you were, and everybody else felt it too. You know what I mean? So I got the spirit of music from Sam.
It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh yes, it will.
Almost everybody, I guess, in my family, for whatever reason, they either sing or they write or they play an instrument. You know, we just are that type of a musical family. But our oldest uncle, Professor Charles Taylor, was a famous gospel artist. And that's what they called him, Professor Charles Taylor. And he's like the catalyst or the reason that we all got to know Christ. You know, because for as long as we were born or known, he was a Christian, he was a pastor, he was a minister of music, and he was like the one when we went to church, if we went to church, we went to his church. You know what I'm saying? Or we were heavily influenced by his gospel music, and he is renowned. He has, if you Google him or YouTube him, you'll see some of his music. He was responsible basically as being that identity figure that we all knew that was Christ-like. So we drew from him, and eventually all of us got a relationship with God. And I feel like it's through him because he was the one who was more prominent in that.
Absolutely. I want to thank you all for all the people that's been coming to see me and been boogieing to the music. I want to thank my band and my family. I miss you guys. I want you to be cool and don't lose your head, because you need your head, because your brain is in it. Well, I don't want you to be no slave. Mama, I don't want you to wear
Bobby and Sam came to town, dude. They fucking killed this place. I mean, literally. It was like, it was kind of a small pond, I will say that, because there was, it's Tucson, but Sam came in and with Bobby, and it was a place called the French Quarter. Bobby was more the Marvin Gaye kind of R&B kind of side of things. Sam was the blues guy. I got my start with Bobby at Westward. Look there.
Sam first. The first time I saw Sam was And I can't remember the year. It was a long time ago. It could have been before I met my wife in '89 or something like that. But it was at Chicago bar. I used to go in there once in a while just to see what the deal was and who was there. And Sam was there up on stage, and the place was packed. Man, who is that guy, Having a good time. And George Howard on drums. And that's the first time I saw Sam Taylor.
Ellsworth, the Sam Taylor Show, starring Sam Taylor and Baby Bill Sam. Hit me back! Oh! Doing all right. But can I hear it from the voices?
Like if I did something wrong in the drums or I missed a kick or something, because sometimes it wasn't about playing the kicks of the tune. Sometimes Sam would wave his guitar and, jerk his head. You kick, you know what I'm saying? Because he's doing something. And so it was spontaneous. Sometimes it was spontaneous. It wasn't just the music. If I missed one of those, he'd turn around and give me like a little stink eye, but not mean, not like mean-spirited. Give me a little stink eye, then he kind of grin, So he was a sensitive guy and he was a compassionate guy. Plus, he was a big boxing fan, and my dad was a boxing fan. He used to box. We shared that one time. He was in the hospital, and I recorded the first fight with a Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield, which was like a barn burner. And I took it to him, and I hooked up the VCR, and we watched the fight together, and we really enjoyed that. So that was nice to know somebody that shared the same kind of sport.
Talk about funky fever.
Nobody could hardly beat Sam on a soul ballad. He wrote some great ones, and he sang them that way. I'll play Sam on the show every now and then, and when it comes to those ballads, he could tell a story, too. My favorite is Mother Blues.
I'm Sam Taylor's eldest daughter. I'm a singer.
The sun went down.
Jacques lived with me when I lived out there. For Sam, holding it down so that they can fulfill their dreams. And I fulfill mine too, through them. I sing with doo-wop group, a group called The Toys. They're from the 60s. They had a hit called Lover's Concerto. And that's the group that I travel the world with.
Wow, we cried till the sun went down.
And another group called The Cookies from the 50s. I've done a lot of singing. I've done a lot of background studio singing. I sang in BT Express a little bit. Straight, that may set it off on the left and the right. I sing with them. I've been in the background, but trying to keep their dream alive.
By this morning, and took complete control.
Singing with him, and I had been singing for years in New York with bands and stuff, but because of who he was, he sang Otis Redding, he did everybody. Jimi Hendrix took his place when he left Joey D and the Starlighters. You really want to, he has the history. And he was a cool guy, but you better have all your notes and ducats in line.
I'm Mitzi Collin. I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
How was it playing with Sam Taylor?
Oh, that was great. That was great. I mean, I was a really young player at the time, and just getting into the blues scene. And so every time I got on stage with him, it was like a jet engine, was going off. It's like the band was so great, such a huge sound with the horns and everything. And Sam was just like so on it, he'd give you the evil eye if you're doing something wrong. And it was just like such a rush of an experience and such a great sounding band that it was a ride,
My name's Heather Hardy. Born in New Rochelle, New York. Resided in Connecticut for many years. And then I moved into New York to go to music school and lived there until 1991. And that's when I moved out to Tucson and met Sam Taylor. Playing with Sam, wow, it's really hard to articulate the experience properly, but I would compare it to my previous life in music, which was like playing with a great conductor. When I first joined the band, the drummer in the band was Jerome Kimsey, who was Sam's guy for many years. He had come from the Bay Area. Jerome had said, if you want to know what to do, watch Sam's act, because anything he wanted rhythmically, it was going to show in his entire body. And he was going to give you the cutoff, he was going to give you the get quiet, get louder, and his groove was so deep. I compare it to riding, like surfing, or riding a skateboard, man, because you just flew right over the top of it like butter, because his groove was as deep as any pocket I've ever played.
Now, I'm going to do a song. This is another special one to me, because I actually had the pleasure of seeing him write this one. I was living in Arizona with him at the time when I first got my own musical career underway, and I spent a great deal of time just being up under him, and one of his many soliloquies, he sits down and writes with this big notepad, and he always said it was a special one to him, so I like to do it for y'all. Is that all right with y'all? All right, listen up, y'all. Come in and join the party. We are running out of cheer. Now don't be too surprised if you find no one else here. They say people judge you by the company you choose. Well, some of my best friends are the blues. Yeah. Best friend I got. Sitting in my rocker, but I don't feel at home. When misery is company, you'll be better off alone, yeah. I've been walking around in circles since I got my walking shoes. Some of my best friends are the blues. I say the blues come and go without warning. You must excuse them sometimes, 'cause they're not alive. No. You know they butter my bread every morning, and they tuck me in bed every night. Lord, the blues around me. Lord, know the blues is everywhere, yeah. Right now, the blues has found me. I've got blues with blues to spare. My baby left me. It was 5 o'clock this morning. They came right here with the news. Well, some of my best friends are the blues. Yeah. Very best friend that I got. Sharon, what's up to our Karen? Better yet, Uncle David. Every time I hit her on the pavement, I'm lonely, she ain't the pony. Snack a crap by those who keep her homie. Jacques on the rest of the rim. Hard to make it sure to get paid. Just gonna win a young seat on in the chat. Young in the gonna make it sure to get the back. Courtney, she knows how to rock. If the lead puts boxes up in your spot. Hit a little bit of this so we can talk back. And never cheating when you go smoke pop. For the failures. We are the sailors. Uncle Taylor, Shaw Taylor, heads hold them to the end of. Don't tell me all, cause he been telling you. Yeah, they gonna let me down with you, another dance in the W. Yeah. Tell me.